Big Brother's watching. Be careful. That's why he has a headband on. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. This is Rob, Sketchy Rob.
I would have killed to have this headband in 1990, bro. You have no idea. I wanted the foot soldier outfits and the Casey Jones outfits so bad, and they didn't make them. So.
If I had known that you're gonna come on that, I would have found my. I have the Street Fighter 4 bandana you got for the pre-orders at GameStop. Yeah, I have that one. We could have been matching to some degree, but yeah. Not UFO related, but I've been fascinated by those flash mob robberies that have been going on. And I sent you that one video, I think earlier today. I'm like, it's like the Foot Clan, but they actually did it like a mile from my house down in Lakewood. Yeah, and they didn't ask me. I was kind of like, I was a little bit hurt. Like I've been supporting them this whole time and really cheering them on and I'm like, hey guys, do it to Area 51. Remember, they can't stop us all. Remember that?
All the Naruto runs people were doing for Area 51. Right. Yeah, what was it? You guys also had out in Cali the other day. You had a armored truck flip over.
In San Diego.
Cash flew all over, down my hometown, right? I'm like, of course, San Diego, of course. People are running out there grabbing cash like a Joker's throwing it out, you know?
Well, they're all like filming it and stuff. And like, if you were filming it because you weren't going to keep it, then hey, good on you. But all the people who filmed themselves have to pay it now.
Because of that, now I'm going to always keep a fedora and a raincoat and a little mask and a baseball bat in my trunk so I can run around like Alexander Knox in front of the news anytime money. It's the gas. It's the poison gas. Stop the Joker. Like, I'll just be back there. Like, just run.
One couple was arrested during it because they locked their keys in the car. If you house out, break your fucking window. like literally, I would have thrown her through the window and then used the cash to buy a new car. Whatever.
Yep.
I mean, this is why we can't capture good UFO videos, in case anybody's wondering. Something that I wanted to bring up a couple of UFO shows ago, and meant to bring up on the show the last time we did it, like last weekend, was the whole Slide 9 thing, you know, from the UFO presentation from the ATIP Slide 9, and I guess Tom DeLonge validated the leak on that, and that says here, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. It's really sucky to try to share two tabs in this program, by the way. But I'm gonna do it for you guys, and then I'll just deal with it. But because I have a bunch of UFO videos that we could look at tonight, which will be fun. But this is from September 29th. And I'm not going to make the mistake I made earlier today because it maximizes it right now. It maximizes it on the screen, and it's like, there you go, Jason. Have a good time. Have fun, buddy. But if you don't put it on the screen, nobody can see it. So yeah. Oh, it's kind of weird. The image doesn't pop up in this version, but it pops up in my other version. Huh. Anyways, but it breaks it down right here. I could actually see the actual slide leak in the app, not on the computer version. But ATIP Slide 9 talks about psychotronic weapons. Have you ever heard of psychotronic weapons?
Is that what they're claiming is the Havana syndrome? Because that's just bullshit.
That would be if Havana syndrome was real, or is real. That would be the same kind of thing. But it's covered in the ATIP Slide 9. Like they literally are covering it as it's a thing that they have and use, or that is associated with the phenomenon. And there, and there's been
we have it or the aliens have it.
The aliens have it in this instance.
Okay. Well, I don't believe we have any of that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Some of that stuff sounds pretty wild, but you know what? I'm gonna back it up because I don't have to be focused. There was a document I wanted to read on the show tonight. We'll read it next time, but it to me, and I think I sent it to you. I can't find it now, but it's a British declassified document, and in this British declassified document, it talks about how before a UAP breaks the sound barrier, the British figured out it gives off a plasma burst, and that plasma, a bubble, in fact, and the sonic boom is confined to the bubble, so it dampens it, and they were like, we need to crack this before the Russians. And the declassified document, which is completely real, it says, we cannot deny that UFO.
Right, hiding a sonic boom would really help with hypersonic weapons or even missiles. I mean, anything that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so tonight, we're going to get into some of the a little bit of the politics that are going on to some small degree, anyways. And but why do they do this? Why does the Pentagon want us not to know anything about UFOs and UAPs and all that jazz? And the answer is right there. That's exactly it. And you could take it down two different streets. National security is one, and truckloads of cash on those patents, if you are in the military industrial complex, is the other. And that's that right there.
Or if you're in Congress and you own stock in a certain company.
Yeah. And right now they are about to go to, I don't think war is the right way of putting it, but we have the Pentagon trying to set up its own UAP UFO office at the same time as the government trying to do it. So that way they don't have to talk to the Senate. They don't have to. It's the same people, apparently, according to Elizondo and other people, Jeremy Corbell, who've been hiding shit this whole time. And they're like, this can't happen. Like, this is the thing that we don't want to happen. And they tried to get out in front of it. On r/UFOs, there is a really helpful link there where somebody's written a very well-worded letter that you can copy, and you could click on this link and it'll find your reps, and then you could send that email. You could just plug in your rep and your name and send it off and let them know, hey, this is bullshit, and don't let it happen. And
I mean, we gerrymandered this whole nation, or what?
Yeah.
Like, I suppose the only upside to Republicans doing whatever their constituents say is that maybe on this one they'll listen, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it is like one time I heard Elizondo talking about politics. He clearly wants, in my opinion, to run. And he wants to run on as like a UFO guy as his platform, and for essentially to deregulate everything and let us know what's going on with this stuff. And
it's so antsy when I hear deregulation. I'm like, where's his money? There's a money angle to this.
Yeah, or I should say disclosure is what I should say. Disclosure is probably the right term to use there. But anyways, to go back to, so that's what's been going on this week, and that's been the big, oh no, everything's been moving really fast, and I've been talking about this the last couple of the weeks, that in my opinion, this is disclosure, and it's everybody kind of moving it around and moving the little pieces forward just a little bit, and no one taking responsibility for any of it, and no one having to say aliens are real or UFOs are, they're able just to kind of like spread it around and go cite each other and deflect. And then of course, then everyone goes, of course it's all real, but slide 9 talked about psychotronic weapons, cognitive human interface. That's basically what Bob Lazar has been talking about. Penetration of solid surfaces. That sounds hot. Not really sure what that one means. Does that one mean like something as bizarre as passing through solid matter? Or does it just, I don't know. Instantaneous sensor disassembly? Okay.
No, disassemble.
No, disassemble. Alteration, manipulation of biological organisms. And
instantaneous sensor disassembly is when they kill radar or any function, right? Like,
I would think so, yeah.
All right.
Shutting down nukes and stuff probably too.
Mm-hmm. Pretty normal.
Just normal shit, you know.
Yeah, well, it's an update feature in the PS5. But, you know, no one can own one, so you're never gonna get it.
This one we'll talk about in a second too. Anomalies in space-time constructs.
Yeah, that's what happens when you manipulate gravitational waves.
Mm-hmm. And then unique cognitive human interface experiences.
Like the anomalies in space-time construct could be like when Lazar talked about that candlelight that was frozen in place. You know?
Wait, talk about that one again? Explain that one?
Yeah, it was one of those little things when he was actually at S4, his partner showed him. He's like, check this out. And they would turn on the little engine, right? The Element 15 engine. And they'd have a candle, and when it was within the space of this field, the candle would pause and not move. The light would freeze and which he goes, if you understand how light works, it doesn't even make any sense. But he's like,
is that what George Knapp supposedly had on video and couldn't find?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, George Knapp had this video. I don't know where it is.
You ever seen George Knapp's office?
Yeah. Well, I think they find it, and it's like Golden Girls for 37 minutes, and then all of a sudden you see a flash of it or something like that. I can't remember now. It's been a while. But yeah, and then and this is a guy named Grundle Salad annotated this podcast that you can hear on Apple Music, and I suggest everyone listen to the actual podcast. But I wanted to talk about the stuff, you know, that was in.
Why did they repeat cognitive human interface twice? See, there's cognitive human interface, and at the bottom, unique cognitive human interface experience. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, there must be a different spin to it, and maybe you need to know the other. Maybe in order to understand the final one, you need to know about these other.
Is it limited to like 1 out of 24 experience? Well, one in every box, right?
Yeah, but like there's like the one of the dudes on the Nimitz thinks he's in contact with aliens mentally now.
Yeah, well, okay.
Right?
Look, I could, having served a little bit in the military, I could tell you there's a lot of questionable
oh for sure
people in the military, you know, and not all in the lower ranks, you know. I met a few where I'm like, how did you get this far up?
But it's not uncommon for people who have an experience with the UAP to feel that they were in communication with it, which it's a very common thing. It's so common that it's like I'm to the point where I want to laugh at it, and by God I do. But at the same time, I'm like, there has to be something to it, because most people don't go out to the zoo or have a beautiful moment with some dolphins while on their surfboard and believe that the dolphin was talking to them. But
you know, I always wanted Key and Peele or Saturday Night Live to do like a sketch about all those kids who had childhood like encounters with cereal box animated characters, but no one else saw or experienced them. Like the Trix Rabbit, and then there's the kids that did interface with the honeycomb fucking creature, and they're just like torn apart.
Yeah.
Oh, horrors. Oh.
But so Tom DeLonge is a wacky guy. At the same time, he keeps getting validated as being somebody who isn't talking out of his ass. If he's a patsy for disinformation, then that's what he is. He's not the creator of the disinfo, is the one thing that we could take away from Tom DeLonge. And it goes all the way back to the WikiLeaks leak, to the Podesta emails and stuff like that. So we know that over time the guy is saying what his experiences and what he's been told. But he answers the question about the phenomenon. Tom, this phenomenon is influencing us and guiding humanity down a certain path. Zane says good and bad, and Tom says yes. So
it got all the billionaires to want to go out into space. Well, no one else makes money.
Yeah. I mean, but maybe sending them out to space is a good thing. Maybe they don't come back and they leave us alone. And or maybe it's the bad side. You know, who knows? But he then answers a question about time. this I found this to be fun and out there. And how people are always racing against it. Tom, time is not linear. It's not from here, from point A to point B. Time is what they say is parallel. Basically, everything in the past, present, and future is existing right now. And your ability to traverse everything happening, it's like consciousness is manifesting all at once. And your ability to navigate that will dictate kind of your life path. This is physics stuff. This isn't me coming up with a new age concept. So a lot of us get wrapped up in this idea that time is like, okay, I'm getting older. I have to achieve this thing that has been kind to me or whatever. But the reality is totally different. He goes on to say, the reality is that every single moment of the day, if you try to choose something with the right intention, and I'm talking science here, you will have a new path that veers to the left or to the right. It's never going forward. And so I think the better we get, for example, I hung out for 8 hours at Stanford with a Nobel-nominated geneticist that works on the UFO program. He was working on the UFO program at the time for the US government. And he was telling me and showing me where in the brain these little cylinders exist that vibrate thoughts, not your thought, but other people's thought, literally telepathy. He says, I can amplify this and I'm working on it. There's a variety of reasons why, and it has to do with the program they were working on. But the idea here is that as we progress and we have these muscles in our brain and whatever that we can exercise, we will get better at traversing time laterally, not just forward and understanding how other people feel, empathy, and so on. Having a vibration, like when someone walks in and you're like, that guy has a weird, crazy vibe. I just feel it. And that's the beginning of telepathy. So I think we're going to be able to, as human beings over the next 10 to 20 years, completely and radically change what we know about ourselves. What we know about science, the way the universe works, and so on. People, for all the people listening, you really have to understand, you're not down here to get rich, to have a great career, to like run around and say, I experienced all these great things. You're here to learn. So, yeah, that's very, very new agey, but kind of wild and kind of lines up with a lot of the things I threw out. Yeah, right.
Kami.
But I threw in some in the videos I collected from Reddit today. I threw in some experiencer abductee kind of videos in there too to look at some of those cats. And one of the older women, and one of the first videos I think that we're going to see later on, she says the same thing. Like she sees them, she sees the UFO, she's able to see the people inside of it, and she says that she had this overwhelming sense of empathy from them, like they when she looked at them, and that
sucks to be you, kid. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. When she said it, I was like, do they pity us?
Yeah.
Or you?
Like when you go to the pound and you can't adopt a
like, oh, I want one, mommy. I want one. I want a little human. I want a little furry human hairball. But yeah. But it is interesting when you look at kind of like when it's talking about time being parallel, because when you think about it and what these guys are doing with gravity, at least what we think they're doing with gravity, it's kind of hard to not kind of buy into it to an extent. Like I think before thinking about how UAPs work, supposedly, I would not, I'm more into what he's saying, I think, than I would have been. I still kind of am tripping out though. He goes on, the writer on Reddit says, he goes on to say he thinks humans were supposed to be more like elves in Lord of the Rings and that we fixate on all the wrong things. Oh, I know that. I mean, look at Kim Kardashian's ass. I can't stop. He answers other questions.
Meant to surf on shields. You know what I mean?
like Zigzag and Zarog we made these creatures to experience the universe and all of its wonders, but this one only cares about buttholes.
We're meant to wear lip gloss and armor.
He answers other questions about authors who write books about consciousness. Tom, I think what's going on is these guys are ahead of the curve, and they're talking about something that's a bit more esoteric that hasn't been proven in a lab yet. A lot of us are like, tell me when it's proven in a lab, but guess what? It's proven in a lab now. And I think once that happens, I think it's the missing piece. And or where then people can trust science as well as others like you and maybe ahead of the curve a little bit. Okay. He then talks about Skunkworks director he's been working with for the last 4 years. Tom, he would tell me, he was like, the only reason your finger doesn't go through this table is because there's a frequency that's kind of repelling. There's different densities, this and that. But if you change the frequency of your finger, you can literally just push your finger straight through this desk. He's all, everything is frequency, and matter is just a condensed form of light, right? So you have the ability with your consciousness, and with machines, you could kind of change that and manipulate everything. It's really interesting. So everything is kind of this frequency. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, I find what he is dealing with and what he's talking about to be super fascinating in, like I said, in context. But then I also think about, like, he uses the words manipulate there. And I'm like, if any of this stuff is right, boy, are we still fixating on the wrong things? Because, like when I think when some of us heard that, we were like, whoa, like I could imagine tilling a farm without having to do very much effort and still being able to enjoy my day with that kind of power. But then there's other people that are like, I could literally push through a wall and rob a bank right now. You know what I mean? It really, like, I think
Super Crooks streaming on Netflix right now. Anime, check it out.
Tom DeLonge's Super Crooks.
Basically, bro.
Yeah, but all right, let's get on to some. Let's not be so weird. Okay, I said let's not be weird, and I picked this. I picked this because
the bolo dudes, and the eye patch are the best, dude.
These dudes are fucking cool as shit in this video.
Old school UFO guys, right?
Oh yeah. Like, this video, it just has like, oh, hold on.
A light that was following our ship.
Can you guys hear it?
And then it came out of the sky at us.
My friends called me to come outside, and we observed a bright light quite high in the sky. It looked like a star, but was much brighter. The light tracked at a high speed and came to a stop, altered direction, and accelerated to a high speed, stopped again, and it proceeded across the sky in this manner until it disappeared into the moonlight.
And I gotta be honest with you, Betsy isn't cooking for me anymore, and she hasn't been home in 2 days, and I'm getting worried that this time we are getting divorced.
And then I saw the Archangel come down and offer the secrets of the Ark of the Covenant, and he told me, but I won't tell you.
So I just said fuck it, and I started to tell Tom DeLonge everything I knew.
I manipulated the frequencies of these symbols that you can buy,
all served on the USS
and it's in the symbols.
But each man was assigned to the ship on different tours, in different years, and with different jobs. And yet each man saw the same thing sometime during his service, an unidentified flying object tracking the Navy aircraft carrier through the sky. Others stood with them and witnessed the same events, which occurred over a 10-year period. But there is no record of any sightings in the ship's logs, and attempts to find other eyewitnesses have failed.
Looks like the Futurama ship.
During September of '52, there was a series of incidents during Operation Mainbrace, which was a series of naval maneuvers, military maneuvers with other countries. And during those maneuvers, there were a number of UFO incidents reported. One occurring
Mainbrace
with a fighter jet, which had been followed by an unidentified flying object.
Barry Greenwood is the research director of CAUSE, Citizens Against
David Prowse.
He is
hair,
also the
man.
co-author of the UFO cover-up. Greenwood has collected photographs of UFOs taken in 1952 from the deck of the flagship for Operation.
Like, wouldn't it be badass if you know how like hipsters were just kind of ridiculous, you know, in the early 2010s or whatever? Like, I want this style to come back. I want this to be Leon.
I don't miss any.
Oh, dude, it'd be so cool. I want to look like I want to wear like serial killer glasses and stuff.
Hawkeye has the track jacket mafia. That's great.
On September 20th, a newspaper reporter was on the flight deck of the carrier. He had a color camera with him. And he said he turned down the flight deck and noticed a group of guys looking up into the sky.
And all of these guys, they were all playing volleyball, and it was that one scene from Top Gun, and it turned out that was a documentary.
I started just feeling strange things inside of me, but I don't know if it was a unique cognitive experience or if I was being penetrated.
Barb, I'm wondering, Barb, should I wear the Air Force sweater when I do the show so they know I'm very, very serious about the Air Force?
Don't ask, don't yell.
Ran down there and noticed a large spherical object hanging in the air. Everybody was looking at it, so he had his camera. He decided to take some shots.
Okay,
and when he ran the exposures, he said the object accelerated, took off at high speed, disappeared. They thought it was a balloon initially. So the brass called the various other ships in the area, asked about a balloon. Nobody launched a balloon. Nobody knows anything about it. They listed it as an unknown. Possible balloon, but nobody knows where it came from.
It was quite obvious that we had seen something.
Well, we had to fill the balloons with farts because we didn't have any gas.
So we went up to it and we started sucking on the UAP's tailpipe to see if anybody would talk like really funny, and nobody did. He got cancer and he died about 6 months later.
There was a discharge from the fart balloon because it exploded.
The speed was too high, too fast for a helicopter.
I used to watch this show every Sunday before Gary Shandling's show and The Simpsons. And Tracy
the Showtime Gary Shandling show or the Fox?
The Fox one.
Showtime was great.
Yeah, this was on Sundays on Fox, and Married with Children for a time. With it.
Yeah, it was the one Married with Children used to make fun of.
Yeah, all the
time. Track for a weather balloon.
Leon Treadwell also served on the U.S.
Max, this is the new trailer for Boba Fett.
Look at that guy. I mean, look at what a fucking man that dude was.
He's literally shipwrecked from G.I. Joe, bro.
Yeah, and he's fucking seeing UFOs. And then
he's the real shipwreck.
and then he gets a fucking eye patch later on. Like, it's so fucking
after
cool.
the army.
Like,
he's like, I got this one at Comic-Con. He just ran to the door.
He's all, I took out my blade. I cut into the belly of the UAP, and the little fucker bit me eye out.
UFO encounter he witnessed, along with several other men, while on anchor watch in Rio de Janeiro.
Two ships, or appeared to be ships, one above the other, maybe about 200 or 300 feet separated the two of them, and the counter-rotating lights. And all of a sudden a fireball
for one eye
dropped between the upper ship to the lower ship. Nobody knew what the devil was going on. There was actual radar contact on these vehicles.
This painting depicts what Leon claims he and several others.
So they're like, okay, so one-eyed Leon's saw space.
He's seeing it in stereoscopic vision. He has to put the two together to get the one image. Right? See where you're going with this. Like, just waiting for it. When I saw two ships with the thing in them, and I'm like,
oh, Leon, one-eyed Leon, come on,
Treadwell.
That is bad.
What a cool name, though, right?
Yeah.
Several officers and these are representatives of divisional departments. They couldn't believe what they were looking at. Everybody.
UFOs were ass to ass. It's ridiculous.
Nobody outside of CIA was saying anything about this.
He's I know what I want to do when I get to port, and I really want to find a cheap $10 hooker. And I figured these boys, they come from across the universe. I'm going to show them a good fucking time.
We call these UFO spinners.
Oh, I know some spinners, friend.
For at least 15 to 20 years.
The CIC, the Combat Information Center, is master control for any Navy aircraft carrier.
I like
Here
the
is where
B-roll
radar,
that they
mapping,
shoot.
target
It's just
I like the little
it's
G.
fun.
and operations
It's just fun.
conducted.
It's fun.
We were just told to not say anything about this to anybody outside of Combat Information Center.
The commander down in Virginia, when I was discussing this with him, he was on a ship. He told me that I wasn't even supposed to mention this.
How many times do you think Maverick and Goose like buzzed that guy's tower and made him spill a coffee all over himself?
And dude,
My desires in life is to find these other
it's like
witnesses
30 years
who are
after
on
he
that flight that
retired.
must be witnessing this document that came on top of the ship.
He has like the hat and
I wish that
everything.
this would have never happened because all the aggravation has caused me. I had people that laughed and said, "You wouldn't believe me?" And
One of the aliens said his name was Sam Beckett.
I was there. I
What?
You were there. You don't know. You don't know what it was like.
I told that alien that his body was cashing checks. I can't remember how it goes.
Millennium
Spent
Falcon.
nearly a decade tailing this particular ship. Crewmen claim that the FDR carried advanced nuclear weaponry that was supposedly top secret.
The sighting was well known to insiders in the government at the time. It was written about by the head of Project Blue Book after he retired from the military, and he described it in great detail.
There's a possibility that our weapons were of a sort that they were interested in. Of course, the
What happens when the mannequin grows up?
That's what happens when lizard people make humans out of wax.
The FDR
It's not fooling me.
was the only aircraft carrier at the time that had thermonuclear capability. It was the only one that was allowed to carry the H-bomb.
We would be the only ship naturally that would carry them because we would have the only method of delivering the atomic bombs.
And if you see Betsy, tell her to come home. I miss her and I'm hungry and I don't know how to cook for myself.
Last time they put a H-bomb on a ship was Indianapolis.
UFO sightings linked to nuclear storage.
Now how that
and
went?
transport facilities. But these reports remain unsubstantial.
Yeah, there we go. That one is. I just liked how everybody looked in that one. It wasn't really phenomenal or anything. See what I did? All right, here we go. This one too. I was like, wait, if this is the one I think it is. See, I really can't have two tabs open, can I?
You want a tab, you gotta pay for it.
In southeastern Massachusetts.
Mutilations, cattle mutilations.
It extends
Linda
from
Moulton Howe.
Rehoboth and Freetown, extending northeast to Brockton, Whitman, and Abington.
I'm gonna stop sharing the other one.
Recently, I was contacted by a man who lived near the triangle in the fall of 2018, only 3 years ago. His primary work was
So this is really new.
but he also helped a farmer across the road from his house herd cattle. When one of the cattle went missing, he found himself staring for the first time in his life at a bloodless, trackless cattle mutilation. The farmer called the Massachusetts State Police.
It's pretty creepy.
And his next shock came when two men showed up in a black government Suburban. The Massachusetts
Man black.
said he wanted me to know about what happened, but he doesn't want his real name, face, or voice publicly associated with the animal mutilation. He asked me to call him Ted Collins, a fictitious name,
Tim Kono.
and to elect.
I want you to call me
Alter
Big Dick Jason.
Boba Fett.
What?
I live in the Bridgewater Triangle, Massachusetts. And the Bridgewater Triangle is known for UFOs, the paranormal. And when I was young, I used to hang out with this kid from Blackstone, which is out in the farm country in Massachusetts. His grandmother taught me how to ride horses and drive cattle. So I know
With the
how
best
to do
weed.
that, and I know how to ride a horse, and I'm pretty good at it. And I know how to drive cattle with a horse and a dog and a bullwhip. This is how it happened. I was driving cattle, and I drove the cattle into the pen. This guy had like 55 head of cattle. Well, there was only 54 when I counted, and I asked the guy that was with me to count, and he said, yeah, there's only 54.
I can't understand what this dude's saying.
We're going to
Because
find it.
sorry.
Oh,
We can't.
Yeah.
wait a minute. Are you not hearing? Are you not getting what they're saying except for through my mic?
I don't know. I'm hearing echo, so like,
Okay.
it hasn't been a issue till now, but because of his voice modulation, it just sounds like.
Okay, let me see if this is better.
Jesus.
Tissue. Anyway,
yeah, so you can see
it, and I radioed
some of the
back to the
photos.
rancher that we had found it, and that he better
Fucking
come out
pretty
here.
creepy shit.
Told them where we were. They'll tell you the same thing.
Well, let me see if I can get
upper
to.
hide, and everything is removed like a cookie cutter. And then usually in 90% of the cases, the rectal tissue or rectal and vaginal in females are removed in a.
They stole the cow puss. And then, well, this one. Wait, is this the guy? There's a
Yet another reason to grow the meat in a lab and don't let the cows get abducted.
Yeah, there's this is the Mercury astronaut dude talking about some stuff.
Al Bundy.
Oh, pig. Right.
On this thing, why it looked like a weather balloon, and that's what I presumed it was. And I had plenty of gas and time, so I decided I'd just come back around and make a pass on it. And,
pop it.
I got around where I should have been coming back on this thing. All of a sudden, it didn't look like a balloon anymore. It looked like a saucer sitting on edge at a 45-degree angle. I didn't have any gun camera film on board, unfortunately, or I'd have shot some pictures of it. And about that,
I just always find it interesting whenever like the astronauts and stuff like that are like, "Hey, I've seen some shit," you know, like I saw something, and then we will get to actual UFOs, I promise. But will this video too? So
meanwhile, the aliens are doing their own YouTube videos, and it looked like a giant penis. He wore a cowboy hat. I don't understand what these dudes are doing in space. It's a little weird. It's the point.
Yeah. If any of you haven't read the Wilson memo, I suggest that you do. And this video has some of the follow up with Eric Davis, and I kind of wanted to know, but basically it just gets into more stuff about aliens, you know, and UFOs and this supposed secret meeting that happened between Eric Davis and was it Admiral Wilson? I think he's an admiral. I can't remember what he was now, but
don't interrupt. Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Mitchell. I'm fine.
Well, I eventually went to the Pentagon and asked for a meeting with the Intelligence Committee of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which I got with another naval officer who had had many similar experiences. And we told our story. And this gentleman, a vice admiral, said to us, well, I don't know about that, but I'm going to find out. And called a few weeks later and said he had found the source of the black budget funding for this project.
Cool.
And he was going to subsequently investigate, because if it was real, he should know about it. As a fact.
Yeah, Wilson wanted to know, right? Wilson wanted to know what was going on with that money. He should have been in charge of knowing about this stuff, and it was a level above him, even supposedly.
In fact, he should be in charge. That was his words.
Bill Nye.
And so we did get calls from him sometime later, and a report much later than that he had found the people responsible for the cover-up and for the people who were in the know. And we're told, I'm sorry, Admiral, you do not have need to know here, and so goodbye.
Tell me about the Admiral Wilson
Okay, so you could read the document online. It's pretty easy to find if you never have, and maybe one day we'll do a full read through on it or something. But anyways, on the basement office has this moment where he starts to ask Eric Davis. A lot of people think that this is confirmation from Eric Davis that the Wilson memo is real. So let me know what you think based off of the response.
I can't discuss that.
You can't discuss.
I'm not at liberty to discuss it.
Because you're all over the.
Oh, I know.
All over it.
Yeah. They were leaked out of Ed Mitchell's estate. There's nothing I can say about it.
I mean, can you
confirms that the leak
of them?
No, I can't address that at all. I won't answer any questions on the Admiral Wilson.
Eric Davis.
Speak to at least whether.
What was that?
He looks like the teacher from Incredibles. Like if he just got older, it's like I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, he reminds me of Danger Mouse's sidekick.
Penfold.
Classified information. I'm not at liberty to confirm or verify any aspect of those notes. When you have security clearances, that's something you don't want to violate, because the Department of Justice, under the Obama administration and the continuing under the Trump administration policies, is they will vigorously prosecute anybody with security clearances who will go out of the way to discuss any classified information that got leaked or released into the public illegally, or through other means.
Okay.
So I can't address those notes in any form or fashion.
So, Canadian Grant Cameron uploaded 15 pages of documents, allegedly notes taken by Dr. Eric Davis in 2002. So, whoever this Grant Cameron is, are you familiar with who this person is?
Oh, I used to know him. Yeah, he's a Canadian UFO investigator. He doesn't investigate UFO phenomena. What he investigates is his big claim to fame was investigating the U.S. president's role in the UFO history.
Where did he get these 15 pages from?
I don't know. I've never seen whatever the pages there are that he has. I haven't seen those.
Like here is it.
He says he hasn't seen him, but he knows he's all up in him.
What appears to be a letter to you from a Will Miller.
Okay. All right. Well, he uploaded it, but I can't address any of it, so.
All right. So is that a yes? These are real? These are true?
I
respect it.
An answer.
All right. That's I guess enough of that.
So, yeah, my take on that one right there is he really, that could be misinfo, and he still can't address it. It could be completely fan fiction, and if it's supposed to be real, he can't address it. But he does verify that it comes from the estate and that the story of the lineage of the documents is real. And that's what I think is both interesting, but also not confirmation of anything. So I feel like that did not move the mystery forward at all, or even backwards. It just kind of, well, actually, I'd say it moved it forward more in the sense that we know the lineage of the documents is real. So it means that they did likely come from that estate after the guy's death.
Yeah, it sounds like Dr. Eric Davis doesn't want to be dragged out in front of any Senate committee anytime soon to talk about anything. It's like, I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, agreed. And but yeah, the Wilson memos stuff is really interesting, and it is worth probably doing a whole show on with just. So this is the raw footage of that UFO in Turkey. Maybe Max saw it, but this is so I've heard that this one has been debunked lots of times, and the way it's debunked is that people say it looks like the bridge of a yacht or the side of this yacht. I saw the shape of the ship that it's supposed to represent, and it honestly is not a one-to-one match. It's not far off, but it's not one-to-one. And this video right here, you can see is 2007-8-9 UFO incident in Turkey, raw footage, best and famous sighting. And this is the full thing. You'll usually see this one cut up into like a 1 minute long video. And there's even moments in it where it appears that you can see beings inside. Like you can see little heads in there. And that's what makes it really fascinating, because if this was a yacht, they were setting this up to be a hoax the whole time, and they had little aliens planted inside of it. But
3-hour tour.
But yeah, but as you, I mean, look in there, you can see it's I mean, I wonder if anybody's done a really great stabilized video of the full thing. But it's
get on it, Jason.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, I don't know how to do that yet.
Is this just some AI something that can just do everything? Like,
yeah, probably. But
yeah.
Usually, whenever we say some AI does something really easy, it turns out it's actually super fucking difficult in the end. You know what I mean? As a way, it's always simplified about how amazing the tech is, but it's always way harder. But yeah, this video, I just, like I said, it is pretty amazing. I don't know if it's real. I'm not throwing down and saying it's real, and I also wouldn't say it's fake. I guess this one is kind of stabilized. It looks like it was trying to stabilize, anyways. But it does some pretty wild things, and it doesn't really make sense in a lot of ways, and it doesn't do what a lot of the fakes do. So. I can't remember his name, Chris something, that Air Force pilot who studies UFO stuff. He just did a whole video on this one saying that this video isn't debunked, that I suggest people check out too. Just look up like Air Force pilot and UAP, and you'll come across his videos. They're pretty excellent, I think. And in the comments of this video, people were talking about how, hey, I speak a little Turkish, and I can tell you that the people that are speaking sound genuine. They don't, to the people in the comments who, this doesn't really mean very much, but you know. And then I think this is a different sighting now. These kind of.
I mean, no offense, but like if it is a boat, then we can easily just take
replicate
a model of the boat and just recreate. Because I'm looking at the picture of the boat.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, how you fit? I other than it's sloped, I don't. How do you get that boat? I don't know. Like with Billy Meyer, I could take a trash can lid and recreate that fucking thing. Like, it ain't too hard. You know? Like I can get in a gold outfit, stand right off camera, and hold up a toy laser and act like an alien too. I'm just saying, like, has anybody ever tried to recreate these? Like how did these dudes out in 2008 put all this shit together? Like, so I'm just curious.
Are you suggesting that Thunderbirds Argo is not CGI realistic footage?
Like, well, I guess they used After Effects. I mean, okay, I'm just saying, how is that a yacht? I figure maybe they're like, oh, it's the upside down. I'm just trying to figure out. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm like, it don't look like. I'm kind of a visual guy, Jason. Yeah. You know, like shape design is kind of something I master in. You know, at this point, like I've been doing it professionally for almost 20 years. Like, I'm trying to figure out what they mean when they say this equals that. I could show you a fucking Tesla that matches the profile of something if you just distort it enough. I'm just trying to. I mean, that looks more like the Nemo ship from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You know, at a cursory glance, then.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be like a flying wing? Like, because it doesn't seem to be round, right? It seems to be more like half-shaped, right?
It almost reminds me of the War of the Worlds ships from the 1950s movie.
Right.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it kind of have that kind of like almost like it's an insect in a way, but some kind of weird insect. I don't even know what kind of insect that would be. But you know what I mean? It has just like it's very strange, but whenever you see these things, they always look so abstract that it's like, you know, and the way that we get to catch them is always really abstract. Yeah, and I agree, Max. Like, what's interesting is the camera zooms out, and it's like it proves that it most likely they are filming something on the spot, and so
which means they shoved something up there. Where's the propellers or the balloon strings or I don't know, like I guess it's the moon reflecting off the side of it up there.
I guess. Yeah, I guess that would be. Well, I'm gonna skip around a little bit. I think we're hearing rain now.
It's taking a leak.
Yeah, look right here.
You gotta go.
I mean, it's super strange, you know. And one of the things you know, if you by Elizondo is legit, which I would say I do as much as you can on one of these guys, considering the topic and the levity of the allegations that they make. He says that there's I think I've heard him say that if there are videos out there that are very compelling, that are actually real, that are out there in the wild. And even the UAP videos that were confirmed to be real by the government were out in the wild for years. And this may be one of the ones that we hear later on, is legit. Or it could be just a really great hoax, but...
Yeah, it's been like 12 years. And just come forward and show us how you made it. I always figure these guys at some point, when they're not getting the attention, then they make the video. Here's how we did it,
Yeah, but you don't really seem to get those. Or what happens is it becomes bigger than that, and when they go out and they say, "Here's how I did it," or "I did it, I faked it," nobody pays attention. But I've seen like people like do like enhanced versions of this, and you can see like what appears to be little people in there. Are you seeing the little people in these ones? It's kind of hard.
I can see 2 glints in there. I can't tell you if that's a person. I mean, the scale of everything is off, so I don't know what that is,
Yeah. There's
when people tend to design things, they design them based off bias.
Yeah.
So, like, when Billy Meyer designs a UFO, I guarantee you every UFO Billy Meyer ever takes a photograph will have a consistent design bias to it. Everything will be bulbous and smooth, and because that's what they think something's supposed to look like. So when I see things that look very much like a typical, like when we watched that boat with those ships flying, I'm like, that's very, independent Lionsgate film kind of CGI design.
Right.
It's a person who grew up watching movies and designed something that looks like a movie. This is so odd that you need someone out in Turkey in the middle of nowhere that had a very unique design sense to only be the person who kind of conjured up a weird, almost Geiger-like. Did you ever see Geiger design like a Batmobile and it looked like a weird starfish, but it was like an X?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It almost looks like a World War I tank. It has like little turrets on the end. Like it's so unique to the bias,
Right.
But still, I mean, you gotta like.
Is that in that book, like the work of H.R. Geiger or whatever? Is that in there?
It's in the Batman Forever book.
That's in the Batman Forever. Okay.
There's a YouTube site on YouTube called Superhero Stuff You Should Know, and they cover a lot of the Batman. They did a Batmobile stuff, so I can send you if you want to see.
Yeah.
But it's in the Batman Forever book.
Yeah. So, anyways, this one goes on for a long time. It's definitely one of those ones that's worth checking out, like in its the full thing. And I mean, the fact that long.
Here's what I know, right? Like, I've seen tons of shit flying in the air my entire life. I saw the military flares in the military.
I've been interviewed.
Only 2 times have I ever been like, what the fuck is that? And that was when I first saw the Phoenix Lights live, and when I saw that UFO situation out in Irvine.
I'm gonna
you fundamentally feel different in a way that, like, we know when your dogs go, someone's here, here, it's a completely different feeling. Like you don't look up in the sky and see something flying by and go, oh, that's it. That's something. It's a fundamental difference in human reaction.
Here's something funny. Over here on the right-hand side, it's recommending that we watch this video. Let's look at UFOs again, and look, it's us. Anyways,
all right, it's us.
I liked this lady's story in conjunction with the video that we just saw, where you could kind of see the silhouettes of little beings.
Show you the oldest one.
And this is from Weekly Dose of UFOs, which is a fun YouTube channel. Video only has 463 views, but it's a fun video. It should have more.
She does a good job of explaining everything.
Well, this was one ordinary day. I was waiting for my husband to come home from work, and my 2 sons went to Cypher to school, and I was getting changed, and I heard this terrific noise. It was just like a giant cauldron of water being poured onto a fire, a shh sort of noise, you know. And my first reaction was, oh, the children. I thought maybe a plane was crashing or something like that. And I slipped my jumper on and went outside to find my 2 sons lying flat on the ground in the garden in front of the house, shouting, "Mummy, Mummy, there's a flying saucer." Well, naturally, I just said, "Come on, don't be stupid. Come in the house." But felt
You
sort of a strange
stupid
sensation.
idiots.
Wended my way up the side of the house to where we had a pump where we used to get all our water from. And
You think that mole was like a Cindy Crawford thing when she was like
automatically
20?
looked up to
People
see
were like,
this.
fuck, that mole's hot.
All I can describe, this huge Mexican hat.
It's a Mexican
It was
hat.
stationary, this thing.
It's a flying
And it was
sombrero.
bright silver in colour, and it had a dome. A dome. It was tilted to sort of... I could see the occupants in it.
You saw people in it?
I saw people in it. There were 2 people in there. These people were beautiful people. That's the only way I can describe them. They had long golden hair, like a page boy bob, just like the old kings.
A Prince Valiant.
You used to see photographs of the old kings. And the colour of the hair was golden. Now,
hello!
I was really...
What were they dressed in?
We like your more,
They
it's so
had a
fashion
sort of a
forward.
polo neck jumper affair, like a ski top suit, in pale blue. Now, these people weren't sat behind, one behind the other. They were sat together, but this, whatever it was tilted so that I could see them and they could see me.
Were you looking at them through windows, through portholes, or what?
No, not portholes. It was just sort of like a cockpit, I suppose, that had this perspex or glass or whatever it was. They could see me anyway, and I could see
Do you think it
them.
was the Mexican Air Force?
And they had beautiful faces. I shall never forget their faces as long as I live. Their foreheads seemed to be a bit larger.
Then she gets real racist. So
you
not
know,
like Mexicans at all.
The bottom of their faces as normal people.
You didn't have to share that information.
But maybe this was just whatever they had round their heads, which was like a transparent fishbowl. And they just looked, and I was absolutely paralytic with fear. I couldn't move, although my mind was ticking over.
Psychotronic weapons.
And they looked so sympathetic.
Then I shat myself.
That
See
I
that?
was just mesmerised.
They look
for what
sympathetic.
seemed to be, ages, but it could have only been seconds. And I turned to sort of look down at the boys, was unaware that they were with me, because I was so absorbed. And the next thing, I looked up, and it was gone.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's a weird one. And it has elements of it that we hear in the other, you know.
Sure, Travis Walton, everything else.
But
yeah, Max, I saw the Phoenix Lights live.
One night only.
Yeah. Man, I was hoping for more, bro.
Hello, we are the Phoenix Lights, and we've come to play on your planet. We have Prince Valiant haircuts. We love your mole. Yeah, do
We
you like
want
our
the baby
sombrero?
blues for you.
From
The baby blues.
On October 20th, shelling.
Okay, all right.
Zoom in enormously,
Yeah,
which
this
can distort
one,
the speed at which this UFO
I'm like
flies.
a little bit like the way it's presented in this thing is like, you know, it's just interesting. UFO over, was that Wait and See in the Netherlands on October 23rd, 2011, filmed in high quality from Dutch TV V-Pro helicopter.
All right, it's a rock.
It's a meteor. It's definitely strange. I mean, yeah, like I don't know if you could, you know.
The music's loud, bro.
Oh, is it really loud? Sorry.
Yeah, it's super loud. It's gonna get us demonetized.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I can never tell how it comes out on the other end, unfortunately.
Right.
My name is Carl Wolf, and I was a precision electronics photographic repairman with a top secret crypto.
You repaired the cameras. Stop it. Okay, look,
in the United States Air Force. I was stationed at
I was an armored crewman on a 19 kilo. Yeah, you were a fucking tanker, dude. That's what I did. Shut up, Rob. Precision photographics. Okay, you didn't want to get a real job, so you know.
Virginia. In 1965, in mid-1965, I was loaned to the Lunar Orbiter Project at NASA on Langley Field.
Okay.
Dr. Colley was in charge of that project. They had problems with a piece of electronic equipment that was bottlenecking their production of photographs.
Japs made it. Oh, no, don't do that.
No,
do that.
There were
Don't.
scientists
You
from
can't
all
say
over the
that.
world. I was stunned actually to see
Grandpa
people
taught him wrong.
at a NASA project from all over the world that didn't make any sense to me initially.
God.
I was taken into the
Here
laboratory
we go.
where the equipment was malfunctioning. I couldn't repair it in the dark. I asked to have it removed. Airman second class was in the dark room at that time. I was also an airman second class.
We took our pants off. Is that in the dark together?
Sword fight!
How the data got from the lunar orbiter to the laboratory. I asked the young man if he described the process to me. He did. About 30 minutes into the process, he said to me, in a very distressed way, by the way, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to put photographs down in front of me, and clearly in these photographs were structures, mushroom-shaped buildings, spherical buildings, and towers. And at that point, I was very
I don't believe
concerned
any of
because I
this.
knew we were working in compartmental.
But yeah, dude.
It's been hanging out with Richard C.
And I
Hoagland.
was actually
Nah, moon base, bro.
and I did not question him any further. And a few moments later, someone did come into the room. I worked there for 3 more days, and I remember going home and naively thinking, I can't wait to hear about this on the evening news.
He reminds me of the guy in Ghostbusters 2. That's like, and then he took me on a spaceship that looked like the Hilton.
Then he showed me the backside of his moon.
Yeah, remember that?
That'll
mushroom?
make the headlines.
Remember that mushroom-shaped structure? It was.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Dude. Like, I don't know. I don't. You know.
I'm telling you,
on the
man. Moon base is real. Moon base is real.
All right, Benny.
Oh, here we go. Gold water.
Oh man.
At Wright-Patterson Field, if you could get into certain places, you'd find out what the Air Force and the government knows about UFOs. Reportedly, a spaceship landed. It was all hushed up, quieted, and nobody I've never heard about much of it. I called Curtis.
In this video, I like it because he's like, "Oh, Barry wants to get in there on the action." Well, it's kind of funny.
LeMay, and I said, General, I know we have a room at Wright-Patterson where you put all his secret stuff. Could I go in there? I've never heard him get mad, but he got madder than hell at me, cussed me out, said, don't ever ask me that question again.
And Nixon was right.
On Capitol.
You stupid motherfucker! How dare you ask me to go into the secret room with the secret stuff?
Where they keep all the photos of the Mexican sombreros. The weird Norwegians.
Four Pac-Man machines.
The representative for New Mexico, Congressman Stephen Schiff, is suspicious of the number of different explanations offered over the years.
We've had 3 different explanations from the military about what crashed. The first explanation is it was flying saucer in today's terminology.
We're pretty sure it's
They
Mexico
changed that
because it
and
looks like a
said,
sombrero.
We made a mistake. It wasn't a flying disc. It was weather balloon.
We can hear the mariachi music playing as it busts on warships every single
The
time.
only wing that was eligible to carry nuclear weapons at that particular time.
And we're pretty sure they're making fun of white people because they have blonde Prince Valiant haircuts.
They're still
No,
alive.
weather balloon
We
is a
have
flying
time to
saucer,
do
but
Cheech and Chong get abducted.
Right?
And they become illegal aliens on Zeta Reticuli, you know? We can still do this, Netflix.
Went down there. And we should allow the American people to make a judgment on what that might have been by disclosing. I mean, this is probably the most.
But this basically
blatant
has like a
case
bunch of people in
of
politics talking about, you know,
Yeah,
the shit's real. And then I thought this was important. This was Jeremy Corbell talking about that thing I spoke of, about what they're doing right now. Wait, put some sound on. Come on.
Weaponized attempt to undercut the congressional support for the UFO or UAP legislation and the amendment that was just put forward from the National Defense Authorization Act. So this is a power grab by the Pentagon, and it was a sneak attack. You know, there's been this cone of silence for over 80 years, and this
UAP Civil War, UAP Civil,
where this new program was just named from, is the same organization that tried to kill the UAP efforts for all these years.
Yeah, Elizondo keeps speaking, or did a bunch of tweets about that this week, going like, yeah, these are the people who aren't letting any of this stuff get out there, and now they're trying to control it again. They're trying to basically have the last word, and we cannot allow that because they are liars. And once again, it goes back to that I think to that British plasma bubble. It's like you can use that to wait. I can't hear you now.
Once they figure out Mexicans can get off the planet, they're never going to be able to blame a caravan ever again. That's the problem.
The caravan.
Yeah, because a caravan shows up every 2 to 4 years, you know, right before an election. Right. Guarantee you one's coming in 2022. I can't wait. And
yeah, we don't even need a caravan. They have the fucking sombrero. They have the space sombrero, you guys. Yeah, here we go. Right here. Am I sharing this, or is it just popping in? God,
I'll give it up. She believes whatever she says she saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not the sound of a woman who was like trying to tell a yarn. She was like, it's fucking weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're beautiful though. Wish they took me.
I mean, you could also like tell a lot of the times like how people over time make themselves like the main character in a narrative. You know what I mean? They start it starts to become like that kind of deal. And what I don't know if her story changed over the years. I don't know much about her, but in that case, but when she's telling it right there, she really comes off as like, you know, I'm just gonna chill here, you know. Oh, the Van fam is like, your suggestions look like mine. Rick Beato, he was my college music theory professor. Oh no shit. I always watch his stuff. That one guy, have you seen a Pat Finnerty? I don't know how you say his last name, but he does these videos, and he'll whenever he says something smart, he goes Beato. He does a little Beato thing that he pulls up. But that guy's videos he has a series called Why This Song Sucks. It's so good. Like, it is my favorite video series that's ongoing right now on the YouTube machine. But anyways, this is an index, and I have heard different stories about what this is. It probably doesn't matter. It's just a collection of videos without context because it's just a directory. Someone said like somebody rated MUFON stuff and all. I have no idea. I doubt it. I doubt the story is as fun as what they were saying. But there is just a lot of random weird shit in here. And a lot of it comes with creepy music. So we can continue that thread of weird music stuff. There it is, man. There it is, bro. Chewbacca. That's gonna be my my YouTube channel. Chewbacca.com. Yeah, it's like, what do you make of it? Nothing at all. I mean, it's just a faraway light of some kind. It could be a UFO, or it could be a pyramid in the sky. Is there two of them? It is fun. I will give it that. It is fun.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
It's fun though.
Yeah. Not what they look like. This is That's bullshit.
9/11 BBC reporter 9/11 BBC reporting collapse of World Trade Center 7.
That's not.
About 20 minutes for the
I can't.
fact that
I
it was
know. I
in the
can't.
background.
I don't want to do it.
It was in the background, though.
I can't do it.
They were watching it, bro. They're time travelers. What is that? What is that, Rob? What is it?
That's Dojin.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Whatever that is, we got it. That's Chewbacca. Like that.
That is Chewbacca. That's Ralph McQuarrie's Chewbacca.
That's Mos Kanata.
Okay, I think this is the "I Want to Break Free" video by Queen. Oh no, it's not. It's Crazy UFOs.
That's a meteor.
Right there, that's not a meteor. Look at it. That's a UFO, friend. It's proof. Wait, there's another one over here. Look at that one.
Okay, I don't buy it.
It's going up.
Maybe.
MASH. I want the MASH music playing instead of this scary music.
This is the MASH song. No.
I want a whole YouTube channel of just UAP videos with the MASH song playing instead.
Is it bullshit? Is it bullshit or is it real?
Right?
Let's see if this is something made in After Effects.
I mean that is clearly a fleet. How was it said? Was it Reykjavik? Is that how our buddies
Reykjavik?
Reykjavik. Yeah, you know, little tiny lights. I don't know either. Nobody does. Japan flap. That sounds hot.
Don't. You're gonna play porn on this side.
It looks like a snake eye. Is it a lizard?
It's like the Smash Brothers logo. They're gonna announce the character. Waluigi.
It's little gray Mario.
I literally only see the Smash Brothers logo, bro.
I see the Ghostbusters sign. Japan flap 2. Man, I need to clean my monitor. My monitor is pretty dirty right now.
Okay.
And I'm like,
you're like, what is that? Oh, it's fucking dirt.
No, it's one of my kids' sneezes from earlier.
Oh no.
Oh no. It's the triangle.
What the fuck is that?
What
the fuck is that?
C'est un triangle.
What the fuck is that?
The fuck?
Dans le ciel.
I mean, it definitely looks cool, but I don't know. Do you think that is that just like optical illusion in the camera? Like they're probably not seeing it how we're seeing it, right?
I can't be
It makes me think of Christmas.
We're
from the planet Christmas.
The kid's on the fucking keyboard right next to them, like.
I still
like. Do you need to do that right now? I need to do it right now. Like I'm gotta practice. Like, what are you doing right now? It's a UFO.
I like the kid from last week. I was like, what the fuck?
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know, but I like it, dude. Have you seen the new South Park special on Paramount Plus? They have a song.
I will.
Yeah, I watched it. I did the trial last night.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah, but it was definitely evidence.
Yeah, it's evidence. Audio Jungle's making some money.
Audio Jungle. I don't think this one works anymore. At least not for me. True American patriot. General Wesley Clark speaking.
Oh no, let's not talk about Wesley Clark.
The what?
This is
about 10 days after 9/11. I went through the Pentagon and
I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me, and one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, "No." He says, "We made the decision we're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September.
That was my idea.
We're going to war with Iraq. Why? He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new."
Okay, what's the UFO link?
Made the decision to go to war with
This
Iraq.
isn't 9/11
He said, "I
fucking
guess
stuff.
it's
Dude, Wesley Clark was in charge of the fucking army, whatever, when I was in.
Yeah.
And you turn on the fucking, was it the military TV? I forget the whatever. Army has their own TV. Military has TV, right?
Okay.
And it's where you watch NASCAR, football, whatever.
Army TV. Yeah.
And his wife had her own show on every fucking day, bro.
Oh, really?
Just like, she's so on it. I'm like, these fucking people, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just
Legoland.
watch them.
This is at Legoland. Is that a swarm of something that happens to be in a curious shape? Because I mean, when you see like all the stuff around the sides of it, it looks like it's like a swarm of bugs. That's what I'm seeing, but maybe somebody got really stoned and blew a fucking sweet ass smoke ring.
Yeah, he was ahead of NATO. Do what you, sir, and everything when I was stationed. I was stationed in Germany, so that's probably why his wife had her own show. They probably didn't get that show in Texas.
All right, these are some J.J. Abrams looking ones over here. Some lens flares going.
This looks like something they used to deck out in the back of the. What was that show that Ice Cube or someone did where they decked out your car? Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My Ride.
They put a PlayStation and Xbox back there, some lights.
We went to Earth, sir, and they gave us a PlayStation 2 in the back of the UFO. We don't want it.
The Emotion Engine. It's an amazing piece of technology that actually was quite good when you could sync up all the 8-core processors. Shut up!
The little fat one named Jason keeps saying Jedi Power Battles isn't that bad of a game, but we don't understand.
It's even better in VR. What?
Oh, look, it's a cigar. There it is. See it right there?
See, is this like... At least we got over the rod bullshit. Remember we had 5-7 years of that nonsense.
Yeah, when we see the like, is that just what a disc looks like when you can't see like all the sides of it? Like when people think it's a cigar?
Yeah.
Or like the one that we saw, the Turkish one, you know? I mean, that one could look like it was a banana. Or
one looked like a top hat. One looked like a sports model. Yeah. You know, one looked like the shoe. One looked like
like the double dildos that the prostitutes I hired to work
one
for
looked
me
like
after I lost my S4 job. Used to use on each other for a $29.99 a session. I still think it's funny that he gets discredited because he likes hookers. I mean, so what? That's nothing to do with.
Well, even UFOs like hookers.
Oh my God! Come here! We're not leaving. We're not leaving.
No!
That is a giant.
It's not a plane at all. It looks like an Ibani, dude.
Told you, Ibani. What's Ibani? Stuff that Jonathan Castro did a lot. Wow. Snake-like things.
Where'd it go? I don't see it. I lost it. Oh, there it is.
See it? Look.
Yeah. Straight up to.
It's called a balloon!
It's going that way.
It's a goddamn balloon!
I knew it wasn't.
It's a wiener schnitzel balloon. All right, enhanced and stabilized black triangle UFO over Southampton, England.
There was hold on. There was this show that was on TV for a couple seasons in the late 80s about a guy who made friends with like a little UFO, and they did it. It had to be on ABC because they did an episode on Disneyland, and he pretended to be one of the balloons. So he was walking around with it on a string at Disneyland, and it was like floating. It was like a little Flight of the Navigator looking ship. I just remembered that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Pizza. Star Destroyers.
Damn, you make me hungry, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, pizza does sound pretty good right now.
All right. It's the Eternals.
It's a Doritos ad.
He goes right into that car. That's when I'll believe it.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't called V. V is in 1982. What I'm talking about is in 88, 89.
Pretty
Department of
lights.
Defense and NASA, amongst other things. Why?
I was in search of suppressed technology.
Sometimes you see these ones and it turns out that they're skydivers with flares, but I'm not saying that's what this is, but sometimes you'll see that.
Old age pensioners can't pay their fuel bills. We've got countries being invaded to get award oil contracts to the West. And meanwhile, secretive parts of the secret government are sitting on suppressed technology for free energy.
So how did you go about trying to find the stuff that you were looking for in NASA, in the Department of Defense?
Well, I assumed that although it's part of a secret government project, there must be military ties. I'd read 400 expert witness testimony.
It's the Lord Jesus Christ. Holy shit. He's real! He's real!
Yeah. That is.
That were in charge of whether or not to
It's neat.
Oh, okay.
Vancouver. Oh, it's that thing. It's that thing. It's the rocket pack guy.
Yeah.
It's the Bruja from Mexico.
It's hilarious.
Huh. Yeah.
Sure.
It's gonna get you someday, Rob. You're gonna feel fucking.
And it'll be like the rhythm.
Huh. I am a fan of that.
Looks like a fire spray.
Yeah, it does. You mean a slave one?
A massive fireball lit up the sky this week. Scientists say this was
Hey,
a
it's a
meteor
fireball in
that was
Jersey,
traveling
eh?
about 60 to
Yeah, it's a
100
meteor.
miles above the Earth. And it was about the size of a smart car. Now, it spent the last 3 of 4 billion years orbiting the sun before entering the Earth.
Don't end up in Jersey. Oh, fuck, dude.
That was definitely a UFO.
Spent billions of years orbiting the sun. Now I end up in fucking Jersey.
I mean,
what the fuck is this?
October 19th, 2019.
God, the music. Can we kill the music?
I don't know.
No, that is not. It's the triangle shit. You see that shit?
Okay, we don't need to hear that.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this is fucking fun. I'm bored of it already. All right, hold on. These mysterious ones might all be. We're in the middle. Calm on everyone.
Okay, this is the guy on the boat again.
The boat guys.
Sure.
It's a fun one. I don't know that one.
It's fun.
That one's supposed to be from a VHS tape, or no, it's not. Wait a minute.
This is not a VHS.
No. I know that one was supposed to be from a VHS tape, but when we see that one, no. But the guys on the boat one originally had that, so that means that that one right there was a copy of one that was reposted.
Right.
But does it mean that the original one is fake?
Thing splitting into the moon. What is that, George?
It's an eclipse, you nitwit.
I've never seen anything like that. Oh, and I'm
because you've never looked up.
Direction. Look at it. Looks like
and you're not supposed to stare into a goddamn. It's a fucking eclipse, bro. Don't stare into it.
No, it's Mac tonight, dude. It's Mac tonight. It's the McDonald's.
I miss Mac tonight.
It was on the bottom first.
All right, so they're just saying something.
And you go blind. Good job.
But this thing goes on forever.
Don't make me do all this all night. We gotta do this all night.
You're gonna do every single one. Part 2. Cigar.
She goes blind.
It's like Mac tonight.
Oh no, this one again.
Oh, is this that same one?
Yeah,
or is
it's the balloon.
it's kind of like a cosmic used condom, if you ask me.
Yeah, it looks like a cigar-shaped
One of those
craft
ones that you
top.
just see like on the street, and you're like, oh,
But it's really
Yeah.
Roadblock. Oh, this is a G.I. Joe
Looks
video.
like one of mommy's toys. Shut up.
Oh no.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love Mac tonight.
All right, what's going on here? Is this gonna
he goes. Gotcha.
Yeah. This one.
Okay, whatever this is, man.
Whatever it is, it needs context. Signs. We're going to see that one. Dun 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 dun.
Mike, what do you get out the corner, Mike?
Swing away, Joaquin Phoenix. Swing away.
In a world where people will watch anything but actual TV. Commercial companies are just wondering, what do we do?
what can we do?
This is better marketing for Boba Fett than the actual trailers.
This looks like those little fairy things in the Ewok movies that brass sizzle.
Oh my god!
No.
Gotcha, didn't I? Jump scare.
It's a giant sombrero.
In a world of seriously blank screens.
Oh, here's one from Germany.
I told you all those Where Waldo fucking would come in handy after a while. You get used to finding Waldo, you can do something with this.
Yeah. Oh my god, look for that bird. Wait a minute. Wait, is that bird doing loop-de-loops?
Doing loop-de-loops. It's the Phantom Zone, bro.
We give birds cocaine, film them, and then we say they're UFOs on the internet.
It's literally some trash flowing around the wind, bro.
I'm telling you, it's a bird on cocaine. Whoa. Man.
You keep watching this. Nothing's gonna happen. I gotta quickly move the camera around and make it look like something really.
Oh, the Battle of LA.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Yeah, see, was anything ever real from this?
There's some of the sightings, yes, but what you really had was paranoid reserve guards guys that couldn't fight in World War I or II, sitting there getting spooked out because there was a sub on the coast.
Yeah.
Mind you, we had subs on the East Coast left and right for years, and everyone got over it. But
right. Well, I mean, because
so there was that legit photo came from legit photographer, you know. But,
no, but I mean, the one that made it in the newspaper was totally fake.
Right.
It was all touched up and shit, and then there's footage that goes around from it now, but it's from a Netflix documentary that recreated it. And then this stuff here, I'm like, is any of this supposed to be like real, or is this just
no?
Yeah, because that's one of those ones.
It's a bunch of paranoid. The Japs are coming for us! Oh, shut up, dude!
Yeah. It definitely has that.
Man in his present state on your planet must change in order to survive.
Fuck yeah,
Many things
America.
will take place on this planet.
We own the moon,
Therefore,
aliens.
man will have to
Sorry,
change with the
we
planet.
put our flag on it.
This solar
We called it.
system is moving into an area of space where the vibrations are much
You
higher.
guys could have the other
This
side of the
will
moon
cause
that we can't
changes
see.
in your
This is our
planet's
side.
features. It will also cause changes in your peoples. The vibrations on the planet will become
Oh,
higher.
whatever. I'm tired of people telling me that we don't own the moon.
They're worried about vibrations, and meanwhile, the poor souls that have to work at a Target on Black Friday, you know, like you're just dealing with psychotics running in for their 10% off Roombas.
Yeah, but well, there are more videos in here.
It's a shame SCTV never did like a UFO watch night. Like that would have been great if they had spoofed like the station is besieged by UFOs and there's a twist, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Bill says, dude, they just want to party. That's why they got the lights and the probes in the form of alien foreplay.
They're doing the ball thing.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we just want to like telepathically link with you. Let's get fucked up and just see where the night goes, baby. You know what I mean?
See what gets penetrated.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, drop all your preconceived notions here, and let's do some astral projection shit you never considered before, lady.
Astral projection. You know, whoa. What? You're not taking this serious. You don't believe in any of this, Rob. I said not most of it. I don't. There is some real shit though.
You ever had your prostate massaged astrally? Yeah,
I live in a parallel world where that's happening right now.
Oh shit! Yeah, time. You know, it's just like, you know, it's all sideways, bro. You know what I mean? All the small things, bro. Tom DeLonge, my friend Tom DeLonge tells me that time is flowing sideways, left and right.
It is a shame they never got Macho Man to be on Unsolved Mysteries, you know? Yeah, some real spooky shit's going down here.
Dude, I want
it looks like a cigar, but it isn't.
Iron Sheik's like, you know, I will fuck your time and make it humble.
They're like, we just had you on for the weather, Sheik.
Iron Sheik does the weather.
He manages to say every racist thing ever. Like, never got to the weather.
Yeah. Iron Sheik is just he's an equal opportunity person. He hates everything.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like we did a pretty broad spectrum of UFO things today, and we got some humans in this one, unlike the previous weeks, and we saw some cool people. We saw a guy with the eye patch. We saw a guy with the mustache.
We talked about the crime wave going around the country. We know who's behind it.
Alien.
We know.
Yeah. Foot Clan. Oh man, I'm gonna. Big Brother's trying to silence me. It won't work. You can pump your chemtrails in here all you want.
We're gonna get April O'Neil on it. Mm-hmm. Right? You just got to go to my eBay and pick this up for $450,000.
And that is the one from the film, right?
Yeah, this is the one from the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got pizza in there and her handbag, and she's got two heads, the whole bit.
I always liked in the first Ninja Turtles movie when the kid he has the Sid Vicious shirt on.
It's like, well, that's what I got. I got Danny. Yeah. Right? Danny's got the Sid Vicious shirt.
Got the Sid Vicious shirt on.
Right
it's so yeah, that is pretty freaking cool. When you showed it to me earlier, I didn't realize he actually had the shirt on.
Oh yeah, they put it, and they even got all the lyrics. So they put some poor person in third world country, unfortunately, had to paint that shit on. I hope they got paid.
Yeah,
I really do. Globalism's a bitch.
Or it might be like the Child's Play reboot when you have like the disenfranchised factory worker guy who's like, you know what, I'm going to put a virus into this Chucky and turn him against everybody. By the way, I am watching the Chucky television show that's on Sci-Fi or whatever. It's freaking good, man.
Did not like that. I had to sit through that one with Mark Hamill as the voice with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
When I was in Jersey the year before Pandy, and I was like, I fucking hate this movie. So dumb.
Yeah, I didn't mind it like in a big way. It just didn't really come together as a movie. Like it had all of these like ideas that I feel like should have been good as a good way of like let's do it without making it supernatural. But it just it didn't really come together as a good movie. But the current Child's Play series is just like a horror series. It brings in all of the stuff that worked. They even got Andy. Andy's back. He can't act for shit. He's the worst actor I've ever seen, but it's Andy.
Next week, it's announced he's directing Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because there's like 14-year-old kids on there that are way better actors than him, and he's been acting since he was like 8 years old. It's like, come on, Andy, get it together, man. You got to try harder. But I'm digging it. But I also just kind of think Chucky's hilarious sometimes, and Jennifer Tilly's the best. But
movie violations.
Movie violation. we can always think of that.
It's where I fell for her, bro. I was like, whoever this is, I am following her, and I looked up Jennifer Tilly. Then I realized she had a sister, Meg, and I didn't know that, you know. So
I didn't know that either.
Like, yeah. Psycho 2.
Oh wait, is that the one? Was that the one with Henry Thomas, or was that 3? With Elliot?
3.
Okay.
No, 2 is with Meg Tilly.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know. I wasn't sure if she was in that one because I don't know who Meg Tilly is. It beats me. But
there's a good fan edit where they made it black and white. It's pretty good.
Mm.
And did a little editing, and it holds up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I even like that I just made a funny noise with like a big weird little coffee gurgle. But yeah, I even like Psycho 3. The one with Henry Thomas. He's like calling into the radio station. He's like,
they're all more watchable than the Friday the 13th films. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, Friday the 13th just doesn't make sense. Like I tried to explain it to my kids. I'm like, yeah, and then he's the mom. Then the next
when
one,
they're digging up his grave and lightning hits him and he comes back to life, and it's just like, what is this?
Well,
it's
and then
so
like,
weird.
Doesn't wear the hockey mask for like
2
3
movies?
Yeah, 3 and 4.
Third film,
Third 4 when he starts it. Yeah, it's wild. It barely makes sense. I'm kind of, that's one of the ones where I'm like, you know what, an actual reboot could make this good. Like they did that one reboot that was I think a good college try, but it also just didn't really work. But you would think that they'd be able to like condense like 3 of those movies together into like a really great movie now.
Maybe Lord Miller will do it.
Yeah.
Lord Miller's Friday the 13th. Like, you know, has a moral too.
Yeah.
Deeply touching.
But you know, Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the things I didn't go to about Dahmer in that Palpatine video is that Jeffrey Dahmer gets Palpatine contacts when he's going to pick up dudes to eat them and other things. But he loved Exorcist 3. He loves the guy in that one too. That was the other inspiration for his contacts. But yeah, Exorcist 3 was Exorcist 3 was like a better attempt after 2. 2 was just, what was that? 2 was
someone got paid, bro.
Exorcist 2, The Heretic. Is that the one with isn't not David Prowse, James Earl Jones in that one?
I don't know. I wasn't a big Exorcist guy. I didn't really ever get into it.
No.
Even the first one, I was like, eh.
Yeah, I
don't believe in angels and demons and shit, so I don't give a shit.
They're UFOs, man. What are you talking about? We know they're real.
Then they're boring ass UFOs. Like they need more of that weird music and light shows.
Yeah, I saw a video with Elizondo this week where they're asking about demons again, and he's just like, what's a demon? When you can tell me what a demon is, I'll be able to tell you if they're one or not. And he's like, until you understand what it is, yeah, they could be demons, but they're really not, you know. I don't think so. But yeah.
They're Democrats.
They're Democrats.
That's it. They're all of them. We laugh, but there's at least 20% of the population of this country that believes this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we do like to eat babies sometimes, though. I mean, because
you're just not helping things.
No, I mean, I'm just saying though. If you ever just pulled the head off a baby and just drank its blood for its power,
Sour Patch Kids, does that count?
You know, it's like throw it behind your head.
Now every time I go to a pizza shop, I can't but think about it. Like, maybe I can get some baby here. No, I don't think.
Hey, where's the basement to this pizza place, man? Like that was such a Pee-wee's Big Adventure moment with that
right.
guy.
When I heard that, I'm like, is there a fucking bike down? I mean, were they really doing this?
Yeah.
I had a friend that I'd been friends with almost 20 years. He's prior service, we went to college together. And he comes at me with, it's some really weird artwork. What's going down there? I'm like, nothing's going down there. There's no basement. You know, like what is wrong with you? Like,
dude, she wanted a hot dog, no bun. Think about it.
Pee-wee's Great Conspiracy or Pee-wee.
They don't call it corn, man. They call it maize.
Yeah. They got all the code names. Mean you just shut up, dude. It sounds stupid.
Yeah, but well, we could have learned about how 9/11 was a UFO inside job, but Rob wouldn't let us. So I'm gonna everyone
draw the line, folks. I can't do it. A lot of people died that day. They don't need that fucking shit.
I mean, we also might have, if we let Tom talk long enough, we might turn out that it was a Hadouken to the building because you can just push. I can't say that it wasn't.
Yo, man, I just want the sonic boom to kick upward. Who can do that?
Sonic boom. They were getting us ready for it the whole time, dude. Sonic.
One time I shot out electricity like Blanca.
Blanca.
You can, yeah, like Blanca. That's what they always do, right? They always fuck up the names. It's Saget.
I went to his house. It was called Casablanca. Oh man, I made Blanca, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with that, man. So let's just think about it. Everything we saw. Do we believe more in UFOs or less than UFOs? We should. I think it's dipping a little bit more into the not believe. You know?
No, there was one actually, like a few videos that I think I might have loaded too many videos into my web browser, like that little trick I do where I hit back. You know, right. I think I may have lost a bunch that I planned on showing. And the ones that were actually the most interesting that I wish I got to tonight, but we'll get to another time.
Oh, conveniently couldn't get to them.
Yeah,
conveniently loaded too many. I'm just saying, it's hilarious.
But it was there's one with an astronaut that I really wanted to show, and I'm gonna try to find it. Maybe we'll just do it on the Star Wars show this week on Monday or something. But it's an astronaut, and he talks about how before he was an astronaut, he's out in like the, I guess, Area 51 or something, and a UFO lands. This is an astronaut saying this. A UFO lands and 3 little landing gear come out, and it just lands right there. He's like, doesn't know what to do. They get the camera, they start filming, and they film this little UFO, and then its little landing gear retracts back up and it flies away. And they're like, okay, so he's all, I didn't know what to do. I'm looking like through the book trying to figure out who I call about this.
Who was he? UFO?
Yeah. It's like the 60s or the 50s or some shit. And then he goes,
maybe call Bob Laser. What? Yeah. Bob Laser.
Bob Laser. You know Bob Laser.
He's in charge of all the lasers, right? Right?
But,
don't call me ever again. Who the fuck is this?
but he goes and they like develop the film. They ask him, did you ever get to watch it? And he says no. But I looked at the film and it was really great footage. You could see what they
you could see their tits.
Yeah. And then, I can jerk it to this. But the Men in Black scenario, the government guys show up, they take the canister, and then he never sees it again. But this is an astronaut. This is somebody, you know, really
okay.
Yeah. And super fascinating on that footage or whatever, or that testimony. And I find that whenever you start to take when you take all of the pilot stuff, like when you start to take all of the pilot testimonies down and you start to like hear them saying it, because they're up there, they're closer to it than your guy on the ground with the cheap cell phone camera.
And they're generally over large bodies of water, which is what I'm more interested in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand how big that ocean really is. They don't get it. Like every year, God, it's so unfortunate. So they're trying to ferry over some immigrants illegally from France and the UK, and they went across the English Channel, and 31 people died. It was horrific. But my friend was like, people still dying in the English Channel? Like, it's not Coronado Bay, bro. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's way bigger than you think, you know?
Because you always hear that somebody was like swimming it or some shit. So it makes it feel small.
Bill's right. Bill's
Dude,
right. This is
it
true.
was an astronaut that got caught stalking another one and wore a diaper.
Love triangle.
Yourself to creep on him. True story. Yeah, that
she wore diapers.
Yeah, that's a fun true crime one where somebody was just going batshit. But this isn't somebody who, or these ones aren't ones who
that we know of.
That we know of. Nobody's said he wore a diaper and shit himself and killed somebody or something like
Until
that.
David Fincher makes the story and we find out that's what actually happened.
Yeah. No, but when it comes to the pilots though, all across, when I feel like doing one of these more to form, like we'll just do one that's just all pilot testimony, and stuff or something like that. And like I think that might be more or might be fun just to kind of give it some shape other than a bunch of random stuff. But I think when you take like this pilot, like all of these pilots, and then you take like senators and people that it kind of has something to lose by saying it, though.
No, they don't. They don't have anything to lose.
What's his name? Somebody just uploaded it the other day during I think it might have been when Bush Jr. was running the second time. One of those guys had a UFO. I keep wanting to say Mark Rubio, but it's not Rubio. It was like one of those Kucinich looking motherfuckers. And he had a UFO encounter, and it literally sunk his chances during the debate. The debate guy brought it up. They all started laughing at him in the audience, and he was like, "Hey, that's what happened." And today, when you watch that video today and you look at what happened, it's even more ridiculous because now the government's even saying that they're real. You know what I mean? It's like okay, it's pretty unfair and pretty fucked up. But I definitely I'm a where there's smoke there's fire guy, more or less. But it doesn't mean that I know what caused the fire, what the fire is. That's kind of like my take. And like, could these be another race of humanoids who live on our planet and have superior technology that live in the ocean, and and have avoided us because we suck? It's probably more likely than they're from space.
Snorks.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, it's completely.
Even Smurfette had long blonde hair. Same.
Okay, so he's all, hey, from Ohio, the cooch is cool. Okay, something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about, but when you get down to what they can be, that's where I get like, I don't know. But at the same time, like when you hear all of these people from different parts of the world talking about these fucking Nordic people with Prince Valiant cuts, it kind of goes, maybe there is something to it, or maybe it's an echo chamber. Maybe they all studied UFOs in some weird way and started read the story somewhere and were like, oh, I'm going to say I had that same experience. I think that happens. That's definitely going to happen. But usually that seems, I don't know. It makes me go like, maybe there's something to it. But I don't really. But it's also like being a kid, and they told me there was Santa Claus. I never really believed in Santa Claus, but I also hoped that he was real. And that's kind of how
you've convinced me of both. I believe in UFOs and Santa Claus now.
I mean, I do a show with Star Wars Santa every Monday, so
it's real.
But my kids don't believe in Santa anymore, and I keep telling them, then who am I hanging out with on Monday? Think about it. Right?
I'm not gonna say it. It's not appropriate. I had the thought, made me laugh, but we'll just put that one in the bin. Not every joke needs to be told.
We didn't start the fire. God, I want to. I'm curious if I could look up who that was really quickly right now. If I could find it in that, if it's still, I think I saw it in. Are you
Billy Joel?
No, not Billy Joel.
Come on, Nit.
No, okay. The lyric is JFK blown away. What else do we have to say?
Live to run another day, right? Right, they're all down there in Dealey Plaza, bro. Clearly, he's coming back any minute.
Man,
any minute.
Yeah, Bob Wait, you know what? It wasn't in that one. It was in that other UFO fucking one. It's like UFO B or some shit like that. It's too hard to keep track of all of this stuff. Okay, wait, yeah, UFO B. Wait, maybe this is it. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Congressman Dennis Kucinich saw a UFO. Yeah, this is it right here.
Who said it? It wasn't
Yeah.
a Kucinich looking dude. It was because I was like the
It
only
was
person I
Kucinich.
know who ever did that was Kucinich. Like,
Yeah. Well, here, hold on. I think I could maybe. Are you serious? My phone is letting me airdrop to everyone I know in the whole entire world except for my computer right now. Stupid.
blame me.
But yeah, it was Kucinich, and like I said, he goes and he tries to. He says he saw a UFO. Like somebody wrote about it in a book. I guess that he was there too. And then they ask him about it, and then they ridicule him. Everybody laughs at him, and that is that. And trying to see if this is where I came across the astronaut, so I could say his name, but because yeah, I definitely lost a bunch of stuff. There was a bunch of stuff in here that I wanted to show. This I also found interesting. Jason Colavito, I guess, is like a debunker guy. He's all, it's interesting how much money Chris Mellon gave to the Democrats before Gillibrand put his UFO wish list into action. And then, like, when you see the amount of money, like, fucking homeboy is like a billionaire. His family is like fucking has money coming out their ass. They're like Scrooge McDucking in the fucking giant vats of money. And it's like, oh, here's 25,000, 7,000. It's like, oh, so fucking for $35,000, we could get all the UFO secrets brought out, and we could do a fucking GoFundMe and just get the whole thing out. In that case, no.
Someone will definitely steal the money though. They're never going to spend it, right? That's the one thing I've learned.
It was okay. Wait, I think it was Gordon Cooper, NASA Mercury astronaut Gordon Cooper. He's from like Texas, so he's all like, hey,
DB Gordon Cooper.
Let me tell you this, man. I just want to tell you that there was a fucking UFO when it came down there, and when had three little landing gear came down, and I said like, oh shit, it's a UFO. I better film that shit right now. Get my film camera out, and then I'll take it, and then I'll call NASA and say, who do I call to pick this up? And that's what he sounds like. I don't think you'll be able to even understand him. But yeah, it's definitely a fun one though. It's this guy right here. So check that one out. Oh. But yeah, I mean,
I seen a Bigfoot about 50 feet wide. Mountain my wife, like, no, dude.
Yeah. No, and
then the archangel showed up. Okay, all right. Time out, Senator.
Yeah. No, and I've had you know, I've worked in academia before. I know how insane really smart people can be at times. So I don't go for the appeal to he was an astronaut, therefore.
No, his last name was astronaut. He was a senator. So
No.
look, just because your last name's astronaut doesn't mean you're actually an astronaut.
Doesn't? I'm pretty sure, because I'm changing my name to Jason President Astronaut.
Mr. President, astronaut. Fuck.
Yeah.
They got to do that now.
So
every time you go to Panera.
Cooper was the real deal. Yeah. When I watched his video, when I watched Cooper's video, I definitely think he's telling the truth that he had that experience. Now, was he on mushrooms? Maybe. Was it that mushroom shaped thing that the other lady said? Maybe. But
they gave me a suppository from Tijuana, and I don't know, man. You know, the shit you can see. Like,
yeah. But you know,
possible.
I think people see lights in the sky though, and then hoping it's a UFO, want it to be a UFO, and then decide that lights in the sky every time are UFOs. And most of the time,
see, for me, like okay, the Phoenix Lights was way different because when you saw it live on TV, you're like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen anything like it before or since. You know, plus all the triangle shit and everything else. The thing I saw in Irvine was different because I didn't look at it and go, UFO. I'm like, hey, check that out. Figure it's like a satellite. But then when it stops, that's when I'm like, what? Whoa, it stopped. Then it split into two and goes horizontal, parallel to one another, like time. That way, that I've never, like, show me that fucking shit. you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm like, well, man, I mean, it came down. I mean, I don't know what the rate of speed is because I never learned that in Army.
Well, think
But
about
to be honest, I
this.
didn't pay attention.
Think about
But, like,
what a moment that was for you. That moment, you had a right or left choice according to Tom Talone. You could look up, or you don't look. You looked up, and now you're on this show with a bandana on.
Fool's on you, bro. I wear this every night. This is my jammies. I secretly wore my pajamas to bed. You didn't to the show, sorry, and you didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you don't have 20 kids right now. That's all I'm saying. Verified kills.
Look, they never ask for your name at Burning Man. That's all I'm saying.
True. You're all, I don't really speak German, so when I just said my name was Joe. But yeah, whatever. The aliens, the hybrid program, they're gonna take care of it. That's all I know. They don't want me.
I buy into the Phoenix Lights. I buy into that, and I believe Bob Lazar, and I'm willing to be wrong about all of them. But
sure.
I haven't seen anything since then, man. Like, the testimony's great. I'm just talking about visuals. I haven't seen anything to get the closest I would say is whatever the fuck happened on that airport at Chicago was a weird situation, right? Could be a military thing, could have been a bunch of people acting weird for whatever reason, but I do think the Chicago O'Hare Airport incident is something worth looking at, even if it's a collective phenomena, you know?
Yeah, well, like, I can't help but think of like the psychotronic weapons or the psychotronic effects kind of stuff that we're talking about at the top of the show. Is like when you think back to like what Jacques Vallée studies with like fairies and gnomes and people who've had those experiences, and how there's UFO experiences that are exactly the same thing. And one of the things about the Zimbabwe incident with the Zimbabwe kids is when you hear about the various kids encounters, it was a multicultural school with a lot of kids from different backgrounds, and some of them interpreted it on their own religious terms. And that's also a fascinating aspect of it. Does that have something to do with the psychotronic effects of UAPs? You know,
it's interesting that lady we saw didn't liken anyone to a book or religion or anything. You know, like it's almost like she has no fucking hobbies. But like, I'm not criticizing, but really not anything.
Most days I'm just playing with me minge.
They look like Bull from Night Court. You know what?
I tell the kids
Bull from Night Court.
Slap me minge around. Sorry, I can't help it. But
they all look like that dude from the Chili Peppers. You know, running in LA, running.
But I mean, like, you know, but when it does come to sort of the psychological or the spiritual and all that kind of stuff effects of encountering one of these. What if, like, we don't really know if everyone sees the same thing, and that's one of those things where and there's been incidences where it has sounded like people have observed the phenomenon and seen different things at the same time, and you know, and stuff like that. Like what if these are interdimensional beings, and they somehow pull from us how to appear to us? You know, who knows? I mean, they can be something.
Came in the vision of a mighty tour.
Yeah, right. I mean, but like, you know, I mean, and there have been hints that the government believes that there's a unifying, you know, kind of thing to most paranormal stuff with this, but. You know, I'm not a big fan of the Skinwalker Ranch thing, and there's people who say it's a grift. But whenever you watch like that thing of it being a grift, it's like it definitely is a grift. But is it a grift that's based in something real? Because, you know, if you are first and foremost a capitalist and you do own Skinwalker Ranch, you're going to try to profit off of it. You're going to turn it into TV shows and shit. You know, if you're this may be terrible. I don't know. I'm not saying that they are terrible or whatever, but or maybe it's the only way that you get the word out. I don't know. But I've always had, like I said, I've always had a hard time with that unifying theory that ghost and Bigfoot and UFOs are interconnected and part of the same universal idea or some shit. It's always been weird to me, but maybe I don't know. But I probably am going to say UFOs are real. They're coming for you, Rob. They're going to pick you up pretty soon. They're going to be like, it is him. It is the great fighter of the Foot Clan.
Regular aumento.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Great. Sam Rockwell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The great... Wait,
who needs to come back as Justin Hammer to the MCU?
What was the actor who played Casey Jones' name again?
Elias Coates.
Yeah, what happened to that guy? Did he just end up on Cop Show?
He's still like on the NCIS or whatever. They did a Casey toy, which I have, but his mask is glued on. They couldn't get he didn't want to get his likeness rights. So the actress Judith Hoag, who did her likeness for that toy, then worked her little Hoag magic with him and got them to release another figure with his likeness. Okay. Thing is, I'm like, I don't want to spend another $50 for his face, so I got to figure out how to. And I would just eBay that one and trade up, but the dude who sent me that fucking one, the 2-pack I got with Casey and Raph, came damaged. I was like, but I was like, I don't really care. It's not that big a deal to me, but eBay. So.
Well, our point is that when the guys that are doing those raids on places, we want to join up. We're looking to we're looking to join. He has the headband already. I have a Street Fighter 4 headband somewhere. I could wear that. We could definitely make this look a little bit cool. You guys were only a mile from my house. You guys.
I'm also going to wear this for our MMA podcast. So
that too. Yeah. I mean, it's good, and then we'll go full Joe Rogan on it.
What? This is what they do, right? No, remember the movie Dutch when he goes, and the kid.
Yeah.
Ethan Embry.
I saw Dutch in the theater.
Look, it's a movie that needed another pass at the script and a better director. I enjoy it, but at the end, when I remember when I saw it, I was like, why don't they just let the black family come eat turkey dinner with them? Why did they send a starving family on their way? Come into my big house that you gave us a ride to. Enjoy the fucking gravy.
That isn't how Dutch does it.
No, he's definitely a capitalist. Call me, man. He tells the guy, call me. I'll see if there's something I can do for
Yeah, well, we hit that point in the show where we're talking about Dutch. It's time to end it and call it a night. Yeah.
Although Ed O'Neill should have been in Men in Black. I'm just saying.
We can't prove that Ed O'Neill isn't a Palladian either.
It's my favorite part of Wayne's World.
Yeah,
it's true.
We start. I like when he starts doing his deep, far away look. He's like some guys with big heads and headbands are a bad idea. Trust me, I know. But all right, guys, we will see you guys on Monday to talk about Star Wars. If you get abducted between now and then, let us know, and we want to hear about it. And
all right, Riley.
Yeah, if they want to abduct me, it would be a lot easier than having to get content for the show if they could just pick me up in my sleep and I start remembering things.
We got our night vision goggles and we were looking up, man. They're just having wars out there every night.
I'm throwing a lot out there tonight. I'm trying to join the Foot Clan. I'm trying to get abducted by aliens. Nobody wants me. But anyway, we'll see you guys on Monday.
Probe me! Probe me!
Probe him.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
It's not about spaceships.
It's not about spaceships. Remember when we look at 50 videos about spaceships?